Theron.
Back like scoliosis, it is Wednesday, so it's time for a little weekly dailiness to get you through middle of the day, middle of the week, the afternoon, whatever you got going on. We got a little bit of a show. We do, everything's kind of calming down. People are settling back in, the holidays, they're a little bit behind us. But we're going to be talking about some upgradable laptop memory, real-time NVIDIA drivers on Linux. Yeah, it is possible. Wine 9.0 and, yes, Raspberry Pi shortages are completely, probably, almost, maybe over.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Hey, beautiful people. What's going on? We were just talking in the pre-show because it's Wintersville, and I was bemoaning the absolute lack of snow.
Yeah,
it's not cold unless I walk outside and it goes crunch, and it's not
crunch.
Like the skulls of my enemies. Man, I wouldn't mind a little bit of snow, but I want surprise snow. I want to be well stocked with a little bit of surprise snow. I don't want to know that there's snow, because then I'm going to be looking around the house and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to need a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. And I'm going to think, can I live with? You got to do these equations. Do I want to deal with the nightmare and insanity that is the people that run out and panic buy stuff? We've seen what happens with toilet paper.
Yes.
Tis but a small infraction compared to the madness of a snowstorm in this area where it rarely snows. People just lose their mind. It is adorable to watch.
That's pretty funny, actually.
But not to participate in. When you're like, man, I just wanted some tea. I don't want to deal with this. I just want a box of tea. That's it. Go away. Got to fight through that nonsense. Ice cold outside, no snow. Oh, that's a shame, man.
Yeah, poor Theron.
We were talking with Turbo Trees Sloth. We were doing the racing yesterday in Trackmania. You get a chance to come hang out, but he lives up in northern United States, and he's like, man, I am done fighting with my driveway. It freezes over every night.
Yeah, so
into a sheet of ice. He's like, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna wait it out, man. I'm like, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame you. I've had that happen once. I had where I'd lived, it was, here was the bad thing. It wasn't like a big hill either. It was just kind of like a little bit of an incline going out into my driveway.
Oh.
It was enough to where it didn't make any sense, but it iced over just a little. I couldn't get out of my driveway. I was stuck. I was stuck. I mean, it was not a big deal. There was no emergencies. It was just, I wanted to go get some tea or something. Right. I was like, man, I just want to go to the shop real quick. I'm like, not happening.
Oh, boy.
And I don't have snow tools here. It's not like I had anything to, it's like maybe hot water. I spent that afternoon thinking, I was like, forget about it. We'll just wait.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, speaking of which, Ben, a lot of people come down to our area, of all places, by the beach to get snow supplies, because they know there's not a rush on snow supplies. But, like people that live in Big Bear that are only 2 hours away, and they'll come down here to LA to get their snow supplies. It's pretty funny, actually.
That's got to be one of those hard things to, you're like, if we want to drive into LA where it's always chaos.
Yeah. But it's so funny because very few stores here. I mean, we have the big fives and, Walmart that would have supplies. So that's what they're after. But even the big five here is mostly swimwear, for obvious reasons.
I don't know about you, but when I'm skiing, I want my best short shorts on.
Yeah. Happy podcast day, Steve husband. Yay. Ben, he says that to me every morning. I do LWDW. He said, happy podcast day before he leaves for work.
I know. I pay him $20 a week to do that.
Yeah.
That's because I didn't set up the YouTube Restream server today.
Oh.
If you ever tune in and you're like, I didn't get a notification and I'm not here going, why isn't YouTube working? Then I just didn't set it up. There.
Yeah. Oh, steel-toed boots and Speedos. Yeah, that's so true. Because, we have a lot of contractors who need those steel-toed boots.
Listen, Steve, I don't judge how you walk around your house, so... All right? No, Doc, I appreciate it. You always got to say stuff like that, because you never know. I could be sitting out and be like, I'm completely oblivious. I'm like, I have no idea.
I gotta... Thank you, Chrisney.
Quite genuinely was like, I'm just going to hit stream, because, like, you can't just stream to YouTube. There's no, like, Twitch. I'll have to do anything. I have to have the Twitch page open to stream to Twitch, man. I click stream on OBS, boom, done. Or I just launch an FFmpeg command, boom, done. YouTube, you got to log into YouTube, you got to go into YouTube Creator Studio, then you got to go into the live section of that, which is its own special nightmare. Then you got to set the live stream up every time and put all the data bits and information in, wait for that to save and readjust anything that it didn't save from last time. Then you can go live. I'm like, I don't feel like that, right? You know what? Click. Let's just have a fun show.
Yeah.
They'll get it sorted out. Trust me, YouTube will get that streamlined, because YouTube is definitely on the trajectory to attempt to encroach into Twitch's market. Like, that is part of their strategy. You've seen that with like
they are.
Super chats, the memberships, and you can gift memberships on YouTube now.
Yeah. And now you can transfer, viewers from one stream to the next too. I just noticed that.
Oh, you can, like, what is it, raid or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
All right, I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah, I just noticed it this week on one of the other Disneyland streamers I watched, and
somebody came on you didn't know.
Yeah,
like,
someone
what?
came on. I'm like, what? Oh, and it said what they call it. I'm forgetting what it wasn't raid, but something else. Someone has given you viewers or something like that.
Yeah, I run into that because I'll have somebody on in the background. Because I'm big on Twitch background noise, people doing stuff, and I don't really watch it. I'm guilty of that. I'll pop in like, hey, what's going on? All right, and keep on going. But they'll raid somebody, and I'll be in here working, and they'll raid some like loud, shouty, screechy streamer, and I'm like, what is going on? And I have to get up and go find them. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like, no, I have no interest in whoever this person is. Go away. Every now and then.
Too loud.
Dude, yeah. I was like, not my jam.
Remember that time we got raided here on LWW? There was like 100 people or something like that.
Oh, it was bigger than that. It was like 300.
It was bigger, 300, yeah.
And like, I felt bad because I know, like, the etiquette is like, oh, thanks for the raid. I'm like, we're in the middle of recording a show, homie. Like,
I know.
I can't like stop, because like 90% of this audience is going to be listening on the podcast, and they're like, what are they talking about? And I didn't want to edit it out. So I was like, hi.
Yeah.
Oh no, Doc, you're right. They're aiming for TikTok. It's YouTube. They don't have a coherent strategy, but it's part of their strategy.
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts, man. Like, I've disabled that. I've recompiled the YouTube APK to disable that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it. I have zero interest in TikTok, zero interest in Shorts. I didn't even get mad. I don't even know if I'm capable of like true anger anymore. But what I pretend is me mad. I mean, I made a big grumpy face because I was looking how to do a very particular thing on DaVinci Resolve that involved maths and setting up a little bit of an equation. You can do basic Lewis scripting in DaVinci Resolve.
Oh, yeah.
And the only place I could find that was in YouTube Short.
Oh, how funny.
Like, here I am trying to watch YouTube Short on the desktop, and the controls were bad. Like, at that time, like rewinding, you had to watch the thing again.
Again, yeah. Click rewatch.
Like, dude, no, don't let it. Not like this.
Ben prefers pants. That's funny, Ken again.
Yeah. I didn't. I clearly said shorts, not shorts.
Yeah. You want short shorts?
What I'm talking about, man. Put your shorts on, go outside, clean the car. Scare the neighbors. It's awesome. I got shorts on every morning. I run in shorts. I don't care how cold it is. I run in shorts because I'm not cold when I get home.
Yeah. I've been working out.
It was
Yeah.
-4 this morning. I went out running in shorts.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like it's awesome because I don't need like reflective wear because my legs are so pale. You can see me at night. Light bounces right off. It's like having 2 light reflectors running on the road. What do we got? You need to hop up? We'll go ahead and
Yeah. I'll be right back.
get ready. Check all the things, all the stuff and do's. And I just remembered that I got more stuff coming in the mail, you guys. I'll tell you about it when the show starts. Oh, man. I'm telling you, me running in the morning, man, I'd make mayonnaise blush. But you got to do it when you get older, man. You really got to start exercising. Or you become like, you know, you see these people like they're like bleh. They're not in good shape. Blur is that's my medical opinion, by the way, professional. And I made that decision a couple of years ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get back in shape. I managed to stick to it. Now, here's a question. Has Twitch upped their ingest bitrate? Because I noticed yesterday when we were streaming Trackmania, I had the bitrate set to like 7,500, maybe 7,600. And normally when you do that, that little bitrate health monitor in your studio thing on the web zone, it's unstable, it's going to blow. You know, it's like Scotty methed out of his gourd down in the engine room, right? And it's panicking. It was just green. And I was like, whatever. So, like, maybe since they're going to allow this multi-stream thing, that maybe that's going to be part of the deal that they're going to alter. Maybe it's not. But it wasn't screeching at me. Well, I think on Friday when we reconvene for our rounds match, I'm going to slam Twitch with some bandwidth until it chokes. I want to find, isn't that very much in all of our nature? Like, let's find out where it breaks and roll it back exactly 1, right? It's like 286. Man eats 286 chicken nuggets and dies. And like, so the number's 285. Got it. That's what I'm curious about. Really want to see some AV1. I was having that conversation this morning with someone YouTube comment about, part of my frustrations. Because everybody's got these AV1 encoders, and like AMD, I want to see how good the AV1 encoder is for streaming on AMD, because their X264 encoder, even on their new cards, is junk. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out. We talked a lot about that on Saturday, though, with doing the multi-stream. It's going to be curious. It's going to be curious. It's compatible. I don't know. Like, I don't have an AMD card to play around with. I don't know what the... I'm assuming you can stream HEVC with AMD to YouTube as well, right? That's where I test it. Oh, man. I'd really like an AMD or Intel card that could do everything I needed to do. Come on. I really don't have any faith in AMD ever getting their compute stack sorted, but maybe Intel. Maybe. Well, 265 is just so. This is like driven me up the wall for the past, what? Everything's had a 265 encoder in it from AMD and, well, at least on NVIDIA's side, for like, what, 7 years? And it's such a generational leap, and we've just not been able to use it. It's patents. Buy a Ryzen 7000 just because I feel like it, or what? Is that a suggestion? Is that a command? Is that just something you say in passing to people? You walk by them, you're just like, buy a Ryzen 7000. Oh, you're saying add another failure point to the studio. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good, my man. It's easy to throw that out. We already got 5 PCs in here running the show. Don't want to have 6. Surprisingly, like if you want to throw that much, like if you just want to brute force it on the CPU, it's so inelegant though. All right, Jill, I'm going to go make something to drink.
Okay, get something warm.
Yeah, I got cold, but I'm going to go refill the warm. We're going to go ahead and hop into it.
Okay. Oh, hello, Inertia. How are you doing? Let's see. Oh, H265, yeah. It's good on AMD. Oh, cool, Inertia. What tech conference are you going to? I know there's one, a big one going on there, and I'm forgetting which one it is. Yeah, they have that one. Oh, the Red Hat one. Okay. Yeah, I knew someone big was going to Bali. Cool. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. That's about one of the few conferences I haven't made it to, is the Red Hat conference. Summit is in Denver. Yeah, I know. One of these days I need to make that. It's like so much fun. June. I always watch it. You know, all the keynote and the other talks. And I've actually even I paid to watch it virtually one time too. Like during the pandemic, or before the when the pandemic happened. Pink Hat conference instead. Cool, Inertia. Yeah, that'll be fun. What's so cool about that? You get to see all your friends that you talk to online, and the developers and the people you work with, and it's Inertia, you've been at Red Hat now for quite some time. Oh boy. Yeah, I get to talk to a lot of the Red Hatters at scale, and yeah, that's always really fun because I only get to see them once a year. And I was sad to see opensource.com go under. That was sad because I know it was run by some of the people from Red Hat, and I was bummed about that. Yeah, Beastie. Ben does that on occasion. Yeah, then I had just taken my break, and then he left to get his warm cup of tea. Oh, yeah, you lost a few. Yeah, my husband always keeps me company, too. But all our awesome viewers and friends keep me company as well, including Don M. I see you in there. Oh, hi, Becca Farm. Nice. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a long time. Oh, B Steve already had 5 cups, huh? No, Steve husband, I did kind of kick him out. But he was, I think, ready to get up and go, because when I came into the master room, he was standing up, so I think he was ready to go. But I picked him up, gave him some fresh food, and put him outside, and then him and Capris were licking each other, so he was happy. Yeah, and I made sure he go out because he knows how to get into this room by pushing the door, because he's gotten so heavy. All he has to do is lean on the door and it opens. Yay. Waves to you, Don M. Yeah. Poor Beastie. 5 cups of tea. That'll make you go to the bathroom a lot.
5 whole cups?
Yeah.
Amateur rookie numbers.
Oh, Don M. Yeah. That happens because we don't have knobs. We have the handles also, and he knows how to jump up and pull it down. Smart kitties. Aw. I love kitty cats, though. But with him, I just got to make sure he's outside. We have another kitty, but she's pretty feral, so she doesn't. She'll come in the house occasionally to get a little dinner, but she doesn't stay in. And I have brought our black kitty Frodo in here before to look around, supervised, of course, so he can see that this is part of his territory, but he's just not allowed to come in unless he's escorted by mommy.
What? Is there a way to disable these @ symbols in Google Docs?
Can again. That's great. Disable what then?
So I'm looking around in like Google Docs, and if you highlight anywhere to start typing, it gives you an @ symbol. Type @
Oh, I know. I've noticed that the last couple weeks. I'm like, what the heck is this? It's so you can like insert documents and whatnot, and there's probably a way.
It's got people, it's got smart chips, building blocks, files, and I'm like, I don't want any of that. Like I have to use Gutenberg WordPress editor, dude. I don't want anything that reminds me of that.
Oh yeah.
All right, everybody. I think we are about ready. I'm gonna have I don't know how many cups of tea. I'm gonna have my 5th cup of tea, but I don't know. Like 17, 20, something like that. But I've been up since like 4 a.m, so.
Oh, okay.
That was a little bit different. Like, you gotta realize, kids, when we do this show, I've been up for like 12 hours, man. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's check our shots. That's a good shot. Got a me shot. Got a Jill shot. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, there's an us shot. Oh, let's see. Infinity shot in 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Yes. Keep going. You can do it. Come on.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Tinier. Tiny.
I would set up a pitch shifting button, but we would abuse it, so I'm not.
Infiniven. I like that. That's good.
It's a new product, man, from Mellanox. It's going to replace Infiniven. It's going to be Infiniven. It's based on screaming and stern looks. That's how it transmits data. All right. think we're doing good. That, how are we doing? Check the show note. That's good. Okay. I think we get everything together. Let me pop out the old Twitch chat so I can close the thing. The dashboard.
Oh, a GLaDOS speech filter would be awesome, Inertia.
There we go. I'm surprised how much compute, like, to do really good pitch shifting, it takes a minute even on a monitor. That's why, like, all the streamers with the pitch shifting, it sounds so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. It's not the pitch. I'm not the affront's not the pitch shifting, it's the quality of it.
Yeah, the quality. Yeah. You're right. I hear other people do it and it doesn't sound good.
Okay. About 3:27. You should be good to go. I was sure to go, like, if you ever wonder about, like, these show start threads, because we start the show right at 3 o'clock. Right at 3 o'clock is when all the kids start coming home from school. Absolute worst time to start a live stream because all the buses are pulling into the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it is, since day one of doing this show, there's been the constant, like, trying to noise gate the buses is pulling right into the neighborhood, man. I would let it die back down. All right.
Yay, can again.
Let's rock and roll. Tasty tea. What else do we need? Oh, hang on. And are we forgetting anything? We'll find out. There we go. Good. Let's get to my record button.
That's nice, Echo Farm. It's comfortable here too. A little chillier than average for SoCal, but it's comfortable. That's awesome. Oh, you're the time. I'm sorry.
Jill has decided that she's measuring temperature and time now.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, it's 21:28, but I mean, it feels like a brisk 19:05.
Yeah. Sorry, Echo Farm. Oh, that's funny.
It's really a dry time, so that's not too bad. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone, let's rock and roll in 3. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we sit back, relax, take that midweek break, talk about some of the fun things going on in the world of Linux and open source, anything else that just catches our eyes. I'm Vin, that's Jill, and we were just having a little bit of fun in the pre-show. Stick around, we do that. If you get a chance, check us out live. We're on Twitch, usually on YouTube, wherever I didn't feel like setting up the YouTube thing. We had to talk about that at the beginning of the stream. I'm like, man, YouTube, you got to simplify that. Like, just click that button, get that barrier of friction down just a little bit. Plenty of stuff to talk about this week. But, Jill, what have you been up to? You were talking about in the pre-show fixing a sink, right?
Yeah, we had to have a new vanity put in because we had a leak and it made things not so cool. A bit of mildew and maybe a little bit of mold started growing, and we had to take care of it pretty quickly. But the sink itself was beautiful, and the leak, you'd never believe this, Van. The leak had nothing to do with the pipes. It was the faucet leaking
out of spite.
It was the faucet that had deteriorated, and water had gotten under there, and like
just kind of dripped under there and eaten away.
Yeah. So that's why we didn't notice it for so long, because it didn't hard to make any noise.
It really does sound like Ghost.
Yeah. So we got that fixed, and we got lots of little things fixed. We got the toilet fixed as well, and we have other bathrooms that are going to be worked on soon. So I'm really happy getting stuff done.
That's always it's a really bad thing. If you got like a leak, or it's always in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Always. You're like, they're leaking the entire time. You know it. So it's good to have that fixed.
I know. Yes.
CS is wrapped up though.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun because was a lot of good products this year at CES. Some real new stuff. Not evolutionary, but or revolutionary, but important nonetheless.
We didn't see any flying heat sinks with lasers.
No.
Oh, man.
And of course, lots of the usual AI But there was a lot of work being done on laptops and new designs for laptops that I talked about last week. That was so cool. And lots of new changes in computer parts. So that was awesome. Like for having connectors on the back of the motherboard, it's finally going to exist. Both MSI and Asus are already starting to put out
We're gonna
cases
see
of
if it
motherboards.
sticks. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the new power supply. I mean, we basically have been building the same PC for 30 plus years.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
having something a
know.
little bit new to play around with, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I
Yeah.
look forward to it. What I don't look forward to is that weird transition period
Uh-huh. Yeah.
where it's going to be like adapter case, because, new power supply, different case and motherboards and compatibility. Then once it gets settled out, it's going to be real fun. But until then, let's not worry about it. But it's always exciting
Yes.
to have something new to
Always.
play with. Couple of things I've been playing around with. If you do follow Doctor Who and sci-fi, you might know my co-host from Saturday, Jordan Swang. We've been doing a sci-fi podcast. Oh boy, probably 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're really
Yeah.
bad about promoting it because we're not very good at promoting. Imagine there's a connection there. It used to be called Game of Who.
Yeah.
And, it was a Game of Thrones and Doctor Who podcast. Now it's called Wizards and S, the lead expletive.
I love that.
It's got a great little mascot and all that. But it's not overproduced, but it's well produced. It's something me and Jordan stick together and we put it up for patrons. I'll probably put the back catalog someplace where I don't have to host it, like Spotify or, whoever I can upload it to. But
Yeah,
we did a new episode because we wanted to do a recap. Because neither Jordan and I were terribly excited about Doctor Who returning. Jodie started. We watched like the first 2 series of like Jodie as the Doctor, and I was like, "Yeah, it's all right, And then we just kind of fell off. But we weren't alone. A lot of people fell off, and and it was really rough because Jodie got hit with the same thing Capaldi did. Just really bad writing. It wasn't interesting. And we were curious, like how neither of us thought we were going to be going back and like watching a Doctor Who podcast. And because like previously we did a Rings of Power and something else was our last series. It's usually like 2 shows stacked together. But anyway, we both saw that trailer with David Tennant in it, and we're like, okay, now we got to go find it. So it's our recap of the 3 specials and the first episode with our new Doctor that we're both kind of excited about. And it's discussion on like, how did we get to this point? Do we think we're going to keep watching? What's it going to take to keep us interested? And I'll probably have that out for patrons. No, I was going to say Tuesday. I'm like, it's Wednesday, then can't lie anymore. You believe me when I said that on Saturday? Maybe by Friday. I just got to sit down and edit it and get it packaged up and pushed out. But that's not the only thing I've been working on. YouTube has gotten hard. I set up a new YouTube channel, everybody. Behold,
Beautiful.
Interfacing Linux. It is, I spent longer getting everything authorized, Jill Bryant, than I did setting up. It's got a whopping 1 video. Behold, yet again. Something, this is just like, I just had to put a video up on it. Oh, if you don't know, Interfacing Linux is going to be covering content creation, all the stuff that you need for that, audio, video, capture cards, video cards, audio interfaces, everything that you might need to plug into a Linux powered system and how that's going to work. I was really surprised because I put this in video. The first video I did, we'll be talking about that in a minute, up last night. Just to have something up there. And yesterday it got 4 views, Jill.
Oh,
I was happy. I was like, awesome. Apparently,
you'll get a lot more real soon. That's going to take off.
It was posted somewhere, and between getting up and running and coming back home, it went from like 4 to 137. But this isn't supposed to be a popular video because most people, what I wanted to, I'll get into why I made the video, but there it is. Can I post a link to it? How do we post a link to our YouTube channel? Huh?
Well, you mean in Discord or? Oh, you know how to do that.
That's like the squirrely name. I think it's at
Oh,
Interfacing
yeah,
Linux.
yeah,
Their channel.
yeah.
See, I have a legacy. Like Linux Gamecast is old school. It's just YouTube/Linux Gamecast.
Yeah, but you have a
You got to
different.
work up to this stuff, and that's what I wanted to touch on because the last time I set up a YouTube channel was 13 years ago.
Yeah,
Things
yeah.
have changed. You just logged in, you did your thing, and you're like, hey, here's your YouTube channel. You couldn't do much with it back then.
Yeah, I know there's a share icon on the front page somewhere where you can
I've already
share.
posted it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Moving on with that, but I was like, okay, man.
There it is.
Yeah. And so I got all that set up. I'm like, oh, I'm making a new YouTube channel. Let's go. And I clicked on it, and then I was like, let's just create a new Gmail account. And Google's like, give me your phone number. I'm like, all right, you know my Gmail number. It's like, no. I said your phone number. I'm like, man, I don't even know my phone number, Google. Get out of here with that nonsense. So I just set it up on one of my brand accounts for Linux Gamecast. Because if you remember the psychotic episode of Google Plus giving everyone a YouTube account.
Yes. Yeah.
All of your every Gmail account you had ended up with like YouTube accounts, and they eventually, after they started winding down Google Plus, gave you a way to consolidate it. So I have just a fistful of YouTube accounts that I can just turn into anything. So I turned one of those into Interfacing Linux, and I get everything uploaded, and I'm like, all right, we're good, whatever. I'll get that published. So then I went to post a link, like here's the link to the written guide. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, oh, what? Google's like, we got to verify, make sure you're real, man. Like,
yeah.
I thought we've already
a little
established.
Harder now.
We've established that, Google. And Google's like, nah, man, I don't trust him. I'm like,
boy.
Okay, this account's like, the core account is from like 2002. So, okay, what do you want me to do? It's like, send me some identification. And I was going to do it like I did with PayPal, because I have a PayPal business account that I've had since the early 2000s, and just like whatever and they're like, we need to verify. I hooked them up. I gave them all 3 of my passports. I'm like, let's go. And I was like, I don't feel like doing that. So what I had to do was like face verify with Google. I had to click a link on my mobile, and I had to do a dance with my mobile.
Jeez.
It's like, look at it. Look, I did it in here because I just grabbed the tablet that was right over here, and I'm like, boop, and I held it up. Linus got me in trouble, Jill. Because it said, there's somebody behind you. You got to be the only person in the picture.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, come on, man. And so I had to go over here where Linus wasn't over
Face
my
detection.
shoulder. And it's like, turn to the left. And I'm like, all right, look straight. I'm like, done. And it's like, you look straight too quick. I'm like, come on, man. So I had to like 2 or 3 times, and we finally got it. I had to wait a couple hours, then it got verified. So anyway, Interfacing Linux, I put my face in it.
Yeah, you did. That's for sure.
Click on it. There'll be a link in the podcast show title, down in the descriptions wherever you're listening to this. Go check it out. Subscribe to it if you want. It's, like I said, it's going to be all the stuff that's not gaming related.
Yeah.
And also got some mail.
Yay, good.
Over on the forums, this is going to be an ongoing thread that 2 things that I picked up showed up in the mail because I'm trying to get something. And I got a Fire Studio mobile. So we're going to be doing a review on that. And this is all going to include Pipewire in 2024 on top of everything else. Then I got whatever this is.
Oh, neat. That looks
which
cool.
Is a Tascam, whatever that is. It's got a wheel on it. It's got some buttons. It's also an audio interface. And I have no idea. It just showed up. I think I paid like 99p for it. So yeah, stay tuned. Also, I think tomorrow or Friday, I got more stuff coming in too, man.
That's
I got like a vintage thing. I got a new USB capture card that I'm excited about. I'm going to be very excited to show everybody about. We're going to test how Linuxy compatibility it is. That'll be fun. Interfacinglinux.com. And don't worry, kids. I'm going to plug that site again before this show's over. Saved you the comment. Now, Jill, let's talk about something that did show up at CES, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There was a piece of hardware demonstrated at the Micron booth that can make laptops more easily upgraded once again. And this isn't some, high in the sky future thinking of tech. It's already here. So Micron showed off their new Crucial branded LP CAM 2 memory modules based on LPDDR5X memory. The CAM 2, or compressed attached memory module, has recently been finalized by Samsung in September of 2023. So several vendors have created and showcased them. And what's cool is the compression attached memory module doesn't insert into a standard SODIMM slot like a traditional RAM in a laptop. According to Andrew Cunningham over at Ars Technica, he says it lies flat against the board where metal contacts on the board and the CAM module can make contact with one another. Also, the CAM modules had been seen popping up in Dell laptops, which people mistook as proprietary hardware being made by Dell. But in actuality, Dell has spent the last several years promoting this new memory form factor. And what's awesome about this new form factor is the standard will make it easier for manufacturers who create thin and light laptops, which is most of the industry. This allows them to let their users upgrade the RAM in them and eliminate the need to solder them in place, and being much more friendly with upgradability and sustainability and all that. So this is good news. We'll be able to upgrade most of our laptops again.
I like your optimism.
So we can still have our thin and light and upgrade it. Oh, no, you have to buy a framework to do all the things. Framework laptop.
Maybe we'll see this in frameworks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And companies like frameworks because, like I said, optimism, your Dells, your HPs, and all that.
Yeah.
They want to solder it on. They want to do what they've been doing for 20 years, follow Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Follow that Apple.
Follow that Apple, yeah.
I mean, I like the form factor. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's like, because we're never going to get like socketed BGAs. Oh, good. Again, like for companies like Framework and something like that, we're thin and light. They don't have to work around the limitation because that's kind of considered a luxury these days. Upgradable RAM, especially low-end laptop, right? Like, you don't really expect to see that.
And even with, like NVMe drives, a lot of the laptops don't even allow you to upgrade them. And those have very thin and narrow slots, they could easily, fit them into the lower profile laptops. And some do let you, but there's a lot that don't, a lot of manufacturers that don't. So, so now we have RAM that you can upgrade.
Right. What's your excuse, Apple? Apple's like, deal with it. Yeah, that blew my mind, especially like with the, but I understand for as far as like the architecture of like the M series and the Apple stuff, but it would still like petrify me to purchase a desktop PC that I knew I could upgrade the RAM in. And for some reason, we just get more wiggle room on the laptop. It's always been just buy as much RAM as you can. But,
yeah, and that's the other problem, Then what you were just saying was that, you buy a laptop and say it only has 16 gigs of RAM, but if it's soldered on, you can't update it and you need more for your application. Well, you have to buy a new laptop.
No, hang on. Let me see here. Get, clone, download more RAM, sketchy repo. Yeah, it just wants my root password. And look at that. More RAM. This is cool. I like it. Good, good to see. Hopefully it catches on like the, all the power cable. It's just, the stuff that lets you dream, as a tech enthusiast, somebody who finds this stuff interesting. You're like, yeah, cool. Let's do something new. Just a little bit new.
Oh, and thank you, Artheron, for posting this in our show notes. I was so happy you brought it to our attention because I'd been reading about this new memory standard, and it was really, really nice to see that it was at CES.
Speaking of being bad at promotion, if you want to add stuff to our show notes, you can do that if you are a Death Note level Patreon or above. You get access to our Discord. Everybody does. If you're Twitch sub, and we got a section in our Discord just for show suggestions, or we go ahead and give you a link to the Google Doc as we work on it. Because if you want to peek over the fence, be like, what you guys up to during the week, throw some stuff in there. Knock yourself out. All right. Out with the new, in with the old. Team Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. Don't we?
Yes,
Man,
we
Linux and NVIDIA users, we can't. Oh, boy. Isn't that right, Linus? Yeah, Linus loves it too. He's got people.
Yes, he certainly shows his shall I say his expression towards it.
Oh, here is me with my collection of NVIDIA cards that I had for my opening shot. And that's not all of them. That's just the ones that were in the tech closet here in the studio, like going all the way back to the GeoForce series where you had good box art.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to like sit down and make a guide. This all started because a common question. Now, I did this kind of in the theme of the choose your own adventure game. As you might see, you're going to die in NVIDIA GeForce Adventure, because it is a bit of a kaleidoscope of nightmares for the average user. But this, 22 years ago, I bought my first NVIDIA GPU. I had to like look it up, and I counted the rings and the boxes. And before that, I was rocking the 3DFX, going all the way back to that original Voodoo 1. Why? Because that 3DFX had proper desktop Linux support, and I was accustomed to having a fully functional desktop with hardware acceleration back in the 90s, man. And well, we all know 3DFX went under, and the only option really was like ATI, and that kind of continued to be an absolute dumpster fire all the way up, and even after AMD bought them for quite some time. Now, unfortunately, that meant that I just had to work with NVIDIA. And, in 2024, NVIDIA still has solid Linux support, but only if you know your way around the driver stack. And I didn't realize just how much of a curveball it would throw a new user until I started writing this guide out, which I just started originally to write for how to get it up and running with a real-time kernel, because that's a question I've been getting for a long time. And so I started making this guide, and I decided to just expand it into a serious choose your own adventure game featuring CUDA and apt. So we got installing, uninstalling, upgrading. It's all here. And it even has a step 0. It has a step 0 that at the end of the video, it reminds you. I'm just kind of scrolling through the page here. We got plenty of screenshots, kind of walk you through it. There it is. Proof that you can run the proprietary NVIDIA latest drivers with a full RT kernel if you dare so choose. But step 0 is right here at the top. Right here at the top. Skip it at your own peril if you're running Debian, because you will. And at the end of the video, it tells you, did you hose your system? Go back and do step 0. Now, why is this important? And I got a couple of common scenarios that you might run into. You got a fresh Debian install. Let's just use that. Maybe you need to upgrade CUDA. Maybe you're running Debian stable and you want to upgrade the NVIDIA drivers. Oh, there's no PPA. Let's install it with a run file. It's pretty simple. Or maybe, you want to just upgrade CUDA. Oh, okay. Turns out NVIDIA's got its own repo for Debian. You can add it, how to upgrade that, and more importantly, how to uninstall everything properly, because this is not Windows. You will jack your system up. Now, the goal here, why I wanted to write all this out, is just to have it there. Because what is I call it Windows-like behavior. Oh, I broke a thing. What do? Nuke and pave. Mm-hmm. Oh, this isn't working. How do I fix that? Uninstall, reinstall. No. Don't waste all that time. Now, if you've messed up your NVIDIA install, learn how to do this. This is why, be the change. Let's write it all out. You can walk your way through this and go, oh, okay. You can piece together any common scenario. If you happen to be, that 83% of the market with an NVIDIA GPU. Also, immediately somebody won the award for, why don't you get an AMD GPU for the video I posted to go along with this article? I got to hand out that crown. It was the second comment this morning of hey, cool guide, but this wouldn't be a problem if you would just buy an open source GPU. And I'm like, this video opens with, hey, you know what? Maybe if you've done video production, you're looking to do AI, or, into streaming. You have
to have that CUDA.
That is the holy trinity of things AMD cards are a dumpster fire at. Fight me.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. And, I say that as somebody with walls of AMD CPUs and motherboards that I bought since I was a teenager. And I'm sitting here on a Threadripper surrounded by AMD. 5600G is like, I'm not playing the my Solus Corporation's better than your Solus Corporation. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation. I was hoping ROCm was going to be a better situation for AMD. It doesn't look like it's going to be, but hey, Intel, maybe got some hope for that. But
I'm
if you've
hoping.
been curious, I'm going to be doing that. Up next, I'm going to be, I think the next thing on my list is we've all, you know what wine is, don't you, Jill?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Being a
very
fellow,
important.
we're both raging alcoholics, and something we have in common. No, wine's, even if you don't know wine, you probably know what Proton is. And if you don't know what Proton is, you might have heard of a thing called a Steam Deck. Well, if you peel that Proton mask off the Steam Deck, it's wine underneath the whole time. And one of the next videos I'm going to be working on is, because we talk about wine and Proton and gaming all the time, don't we? I'm like, hey, Steam Deck, we're playing games on our Linux boxes, and it's a great technology. You can also apply that same technology to run audio plugins under Linux from Windows. I'll show you how to do that. Not quite as simple, but it works really good, and we're using it right now. But the reason I'm bringing up wine, everybody, 9.0 is here, and wow, not just regular WoW, 64 WoW is finally shipping. It's going to cut back on your need for that multi-lib install. We're chipping away at it. Those 32-bit compatibility libs slowly dying, kicking and screaming the entire time. Now, granted, it's not enabled by default, unfortunately. That's because there's a couple issues still to be worked out. Like, there's no 16-bit support for the 7 of you who require that, but I feel you. And there is reduced OpenGL performance. On top of that, though, just to keep things more interesting, experimental Wayland driver is shipping with Wine 9.0. And they're really clear to point this out. Hey, this is going to be a work in progress, but it technically functions. It falls into that category of makes with the working. And it still manages to pack a Vulkan bit of support into the package, which is also, I think, some other stuff for like ARM64 and stuff, right?
Yeah, really cool. And it's actually one of the. It seems simple, but it's actually really important. Now the new prefixes default to the newer Windows 10, which is really nice. You remember, Ven, for years and years, Wine was defaulting to Windows 98 and then NT for
XP.
XP, yeah, I know. So I was really happy to hear that they've come up in the world in support of a modern Windows operating system, and also Direct Show, WMV video decoder, and MPEG-1 video decoder filters have been implemented, which is really awesome. So I'm hoping that means we'll get a little bit more with your GPU, a little bit more hardware acceleration support with those formats, hopefully. And also, one of the best changes that shows how much Wine has grown, there is now support for a dark theming option in the Windows runtime. Yay! We all celebrate that. That's cool. But this is a great and huge Wine release. This is awesome.
Oh, this is a big chunky one. Like, dark mode is, I've done some hacking around in Wine and Windows, because one piece of software I occasionally have to crack open is Winbox, which is not what you think it is. It's the application used to control these big chunky MikroTik routers and switches.
Yeah.
It's like the Windows GUI, and I mean, it's old school looking GUI. Like, if you looked at, if I'd handed that to like Windows 3.11 somebody back in the day, I'm like, yeah, I get this. It's kind of like that, but it's all just like blistering white.
Yes.
That interface would make mayonnaise blush. It is horrible, and I've had to, like, I did some hacking in it to make it dark mode just so I could see it. So I'm glad to see some options like that if I can flip things around.
Absolutely.
Wine has come such a long way. When I think about it, of course, it's going to be gaming related with me. There was a project called Sedega back in the day, but before that, I believe it was called WineX.
Oh, yeah.
I got a copy of that. You had to pay for it, I believe. I think so. I think it was commercial. And because I managed to get, early days, mind you, but the original Alice You know, that one that was built
Oh,
on
I
the
love that.
Quake
Yeah.
3 engine, I
EA?
think. Yeah,
EA? Yeah.
American McGee I managed to get the title screen to launch with hardware acceleration. Well, that couldn't get in the game, but it launched. And you could see
It launched.
And I was like, oh, the future's
Cool.
like, it was very excited. And that was my first real experience with wine, you know, trying to do anything. So yeah, coming from that to where you really, you know, I think I talked about it last year. I made my first purchase on Steam for a Windows title without checking ProtonDB, which is the database of compatibility. Like it just didn't occur to me. Like, do I need to go check? No, admittedly, it was probably on like 75, 80, 90% off sales. It didn't matter one way or the other. But I still recommend checking ProtonDB, especially on big purchases. But I didn't even think about it. It stuck in my head later that week. I'm like, I didn't even check. You just assume now. And for the most part, you are relatively safe assuming. Like, you can click play on Steam, boom, Proton, you're done.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I'm the same way, Ben. I don't even check anymore. And occasionally there's one game that has issues starting, but there's a fix for it, or I play it in Lutris. So, but 99.9% of the games just work.
It's not a problem. It's rare enough to when that does happen, you got a little bit of like,
yeah,
let's go play.
Go play. Yeah. You get to have fun digging into the configs and whatnot.
See what type of moon glyphs I need to punch into this thing, and more than likely you're going to get it up and running. Oh, it's just awesome work by everybody over the years involved with the wine project. Up next, though, is our on-again, off-again relationship with Raspberry Pi availability.
Yes. So the good news is the Raspberry Pi 5 is actually available for sale by some U.S. distributors, including CanaKit. Yesterday I checked, and CanaKit had still quite a few available. And they are, Raspberry Pi is still back ordered or out of stock from SparkFun, Pi Shop, and at my local Micro Center in Tustin, which has them on and off occasionally. But there's some really great news coming very soon. The Raspberry Pi shortages are soon coming to an end. Thank God. So how long have we been talking about this? And there are 70,000 Pi 5s currently being manufactured in a week. And the Raspberry Pi Limited is planning to manufacture 90,000 Raspberry Pis per week in the near future. And it's estimated around February sometime. And the Raspberry Pi CEO, Eben Upton, promised that they would maintain this manufacturing pace until, he states, backlogs are fulfilled and the channel, approved resellers and others, is in a good stock position. Wonderful. So now everyone will be able to get Raspberry Pis 5 soon. And also the Raspberry Pi 5 boards produced each week should be similar to the Raspberry Pi 5s. So I was happy to hear that as well, because a lot of businesses and companies are still, using the Raspberry Pi 4 form factor, which is a little bit different than the Raspberry Pi 5 form factor. And that way they don't have to change.
It is. One thing I would have really liked, now I want to maybe get a point. I think all of this information, tomshardware.com, came out of Jeff Gerling's video.
Oh, yeah,
which I don't see a link to, tomshardware.com.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe think about dropping that in there, because everybody who read this knows where you got your information, tomshardware.com. Think about that, please. Go cite your sources. On the Pi thing, though, breaking, founder of Raspberry Pi informs public he likes money, so he's going to make more Raspberry Pis to sell to you.
Yeah.
Yes. What I'd really like to see, though, all jokes aside, is some clarification on, okay, you're going to make, how many was it? Starting out with like 70,000 units, ramping up to 90. Where's that allocation going, and what's going to be the split? Because I'm with Jill. I'm super excited about 70,000 Raspberry Pi 5s. Super excited. However, I'm slightly less excited if 69,912 of them are going to businesses and companies.
and not to microcenter
not to me
in your
my
hands.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Rub them on me.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's when we were talking about the initial release on that episode. This is close enough. I was going to say like the end of next month, we'll be able to just go pick one up.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough. Then you did. Yeah, good estimate.
I'm not trying to be right here. I was like, yeah, all right, ish.
Yeah, part of this is that the facility they use is actually not Samsung, Sony. They're actually Sony is one of the big distributors, so they're the plant that is making the pies. So they finally got ramped up enough for it. It took them a while because apparently one of the chips they were having a hard time getting, and so that's why we've been waiting. So.
I'm glad they got it like sorted out, or it's getting to. But this is the whole thing, As much as I really didn't get outraged about anything, it's kind of hard to get it. I'm still numb from not being able to get anything for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, when it shows up, that's cool. I'll get one. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Good news for everybody who's sitting around waiting on one, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Beautiful people. Want to give a shout out. If you like what we do, linuxgamecast.com/support. We got a bunch of different ways you can kick some cash into our face, but we want to give you something back because we're about to go into the after show. That's going to be a little bit of extra content each and every week in podcast format, if that's where you're listening, because most of you are. You get access to our show notes, access to our Discord, stuff I'm working on, behind the scenes bits, just to sweeten things up. We got Amazon wish list. We got a store. We got an Amazon storefront. If you're curious about everything in the studio, go click on that link. You can buy it anywhere you want, man, but everything's itemized. And of course, a humble affiliate. But this week, I want to thank a returning patron, Juan Haplo.
Yay, Haplo. I'm so happy he's
Haplo
back.
pop back into Discord. Haplo was like, boom, kick the door in, drop some stuff on the floor. It's like, I'm back, deal with it. And I'm like, that's cool with me, man.
Yay.
Also, on the side of Twitch, I want to thank Don, Basil, and Optiplex for Twitch resubs as well. But we're running a little bit long. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for episode 408. It's been fun.
Yeah.
And let's roll them credits.
Thank all our beautiful patrons, our advisors, our Theron, Omegas, our executive producers, Barbrant Scottam, Atomic Mike G, drummer, Chicago Kicks People, Super Dust Out Empty, Blasphemia, our Sea Monsters, Truggy, Bertanuda, Justin, Hakeem, our Death Notes, M. Foxdog, Piper, Dodger, and our wonderful chairlings, which now the font has gotten too small and I can't read them. We got so many. That's awesome. You can't read them all.
I decrease the font size by 1px every week.
Oh, boy.
Probably I don't do that.
Yeah. No.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone. Love you all. And everyone in chat as well on Discord and on YouTube and on Twitch.
What about Odyssey? You don't love Odyssey, people, Jill?
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Odyssey.
shame. Jill does not love you. Bye-bye.
Oh, even Facebook. We were on Facebook live for a little bit.
Facebook's worse than YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, as much static as I talked about YouTube at the beginning of the show, I will take going live on YouTube any day.
Yeah.
Facebook looked at YouTube's going live process and like way too simple. Way too simple. Oh.
Yeah, Becco Farm. That was fun. Yeah, we did it 2 weeks in a row, the Facebook, and that was fun.
I've done it on some, the whole purpose of doing the multi-stream is for like another side project I'm working on about how to roll your own restream server.
Yeah.
Which I got all the bits together. I just gotta sit down and like make it and produce it. Like, rebuild one and record it effectively. All right. What do we do now? We check our email. Let's see if anything's exploded.
Becco Farm, you tried it once too, yeah. And I remember Ven asked me, "Where's the live chat?" And I said, "Well, it's there, but I know it's only there on mobile." It was on the mobile app, but I never saw it on the computer webpage.
I gave
desktop.
up. Dude, like, I mean, we got a bunch of people following Linux Gamecast on Facebook. That's cool. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to use Facebook. And I have no interest in learning. Like, none. Every time I bounce off Facebook hard. Like, and it's slow.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's behind by, usually YouTube, you like 15, 20 seconds behind.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the website itself, Joe.
Oh
Brian.
yeah, it's slow. Yeah, it is.
That is the biggest affront. I mean,
yeah.
Game Pros, Blades on the. I mean, I didn't have any problem streaming after I decrypted, like, the streaming process. Then I had to create a hack to generate an RTPS stream. Yeah.
No. Oh, okay.
RTMPS, and using S-Tunnel, like typical Vin stuff. Like, I can make that work. Watch, and that led me to like figuring out how to stream to anything like Kick or all the other places that require RTP. My brain's not working. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to let it go. Like, deal with the brain. Yeah. So I'll get that knocked out.
Cool.
Eventually. Eventually, I got a bunch of stuff to take care of. I still got 2 small problems I got to fix on interfacing Linux WebZone. One is perplexing me. You see this register and password thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's see-through or?
Yeah, it is. Uh-huh. It is.
I noticed that when I went to the site. Huh.
You'd never see it on mobile.
Huh.
I got all the mobile responsive stuff. And like, if you're on your phone, you're good.
Yeah.
You'll notice it even if you're on a tablet, or shrink your window. Boom. Like, even the logo will switch over for you. And I have backup secondary Retina logos for you people with crazy high DPI screens on mobile devices. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Biko, I got to track that out. That's like one of that, and I got all the back end stuff together, which is good. Like basically the first 2 days of setting up a site from scratch. But I think PageSpeed Insights is giving it like a 91 to a 99, depending on when it hits it. So Google's happy with it. Should be nice and snappy. That's what you get for drinking around a PC without a lid on it. I have zero sympathy for you. None. Learn your lesson. I learned my lesson with a laptop on the floor and a bottle. It wasn't a can either. It was a bottle of beer. I was drinking it, and I intentionally took the laptop off the desk where I was working because it was in the middle of doing something, probably building a kernel or something. Dog slow laptop back in the day. Put it on the floor over here. I'm like, you're safe over here, little buddy. What did I do? Knocked the beer over, went boom, right in the keyboard.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't do any permanent. This was old enough where laptops still had batteries that you could slide out. So I was able to immediately snatch it and just yoink the battery out. I had to replace the keyboard, but I learned my lesson right then, man. I got sippy cups with straws in them now.
Yeah. my technique, I've never done that, but I am so careful. I for one, I only drink water usually when I'm in my computer room, and the water is on my left side, my computers are on my right. So it's there have been a few times where I've spilt a little bit from my mug, but it doesn't hurt anything. It just goes on the carpet. So,
Apple juice to router? That's impressive. How did you get it on a router?
oh my gosh, Becco Farm.
If I get anything in my routers, man, I'm going to pull the security cam up and publish it because all my routers are at the top of the rack. I was clearly up to something.
Yeah. So true, Arthur, and life will find a way. Yeah, I've just been, all my life I am very OCD about food near my tech. So I always have been. Now, when
Hair
I was
dryer
at
to, yeah, you probably
teaching, that was a different story. where I couldn't be so OCD and my students would come in with their, Starbucks drinks and whatnot and spill all over the place. I was like, oh God, no.
Yeah,
Water
I'm sure
only.
that's a good way to melt a laptop. I'm sorry you had to learn that firsthand, but hey, you won't forget now, right?
That's wow. Inertia, you try it. That's
and also, if you take the advice to clean a mechanical keyboard or anything else in the dishwasher, which is perfectly fine, disassemble it and let it dry. Don't go plugging it back in after it comes out, and don't use the heat cycle because that will melt everything inside of it.
yeah.
Drying a step before, yeah, you got to dry your electronics out, man. It doesn't matter, even if you're just like dousing them in alcohol,
Yeah.
or contact cleaner or whatever, man. You let it evaporate. Let it evaporate before plugging it back in. You don't want to bridge stuff.
Now, a lot of the vintage computers and parts I've bought off eBay. Occasionally I get one that's filthy from a spill. And I have to take it apart and clean especially if it's a keyboard, it takes a little longer. But I get it clean and happy and let it dry for a couple days and then put it back together.
Take time to wait for something to dry. That's why you scrub it with rubbing alcohol, then you wave it around. Done. I think the funkiest thing I've ever run across, like in recent memory, was can I get to it? Yeah, this guy. This Focusrite that I bought.
Yeah.
The YouTuber special, the previous YouTuber special.
Yeah.
Which is in fine shape, didn't have a scratch on it, but when I cracked it open, somebody had clearly spilled a Coca-Cola inside of it.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah. You had to clean everything. I remember.
I was like, what is this gooey substance? And of course, you're like, well, there's only one way to be sure. I'm like, yep, that's Coke. Not the fun kind either. Cola.
Yeah.
And,
the sticky, sweet. Yeah, anything with sugar in
it
it.
didn't really get on the board, though. It was just, somebody, you could tell that a Coke had tipped over on the desk and it kind of just got inside of it and then cleaned it out. It worked just fine. So,
Yeah.
yeah, keep your electronics clean, man. Dust filters on your PCs, too.
Mm-hmm.
And clean your filters. Rubbing alcohol on screens? Oh, man, that's
Oh,
brave.
God. Yeah, I've seen people do that. Oh, no, don't do that.
Just, yeah, you don't want to do that. Then, make sure it's matte, too. Why? Maximum trashiness. I'm tempted to clean this one because it's just got a plate of glass on it. With like Windex, but I don't. I mean, it wouldn't hurt it, though. Let's be honest. This is glass, man.
Yeah, it's glass.
I mean, all of your intake. I don't like having a dusty PC case. So, like any PC I build has filters on it. Period. There's no like ish. Like everything's got screen filters on it, and I don't know if I have any that I can reach.
Yeah, I have a lot of those magnetic filters. I love them in my different cases.
These guys.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what that is. It's a, come on, Frank, you be contrast. There we are. Yeah, it's magnetic filters, man. Like, I got stacks of these. Anywhere there's a fan hole, like on these pre-made PCs, like, clunk.
Yeah, they work.
Use them everywhere, man. One thing I don't want to ever see is when I crack open a PC is like dust on the motherboard and peripherals and stuff like that, because that's so tedious.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That's mirror. Move the batteries in your stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Not fun. That is something that I've done on accident, but not with my computer parts, like with flashlights and whatnot. Oh, what? I haven't used this flashlight in a while. Left the batteries in.
Oh, left the batteries in.
Because here, in earthquake country, we always have lots of flashlights available with batteries in them, but we got to remember to change them out. So.
Yeah, I don't really have anything. This is my battery holder. This is why you see this camera back here, because it holds 2 AA's, which needs to be refilled. All of my batteries are rechargeables.
Yeah,
so I don't have
most
anything
of mine are too now. Yeah,
like in my flashlight has a 18650 in it, so I mean it's lithium ion. If it starts leaking, we got bigger problems.
Yeah, I've got one of those too. We have multiple flash lights in every room.
But now that we got like LED bulbs and stuff like that, I'm not like light's not a problem anymore. Like, even your mobile phone, like boom, light. Done. That's so cool. People forget about that. You got a flashlight button on your phone.
Oh yeah. But it uses the juice real quick if you use it for a long time.
You can use your flashlight. You can use your phone to find your flashlight.
Yeah. But we have solar too, because that's we're here in SoCal, so solar stuff works well.
All right.
I've got solar charges for the phones and that kind of thing too. I love those.
I bought a solar panel to play with, as Vin does. I just haven't done anything with it. It's big enough to mess something up if I don't wire it in. Like I'd have to get a convert DC to AC, and I want one that'd be reasonably efficient. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It was just relatively inexpensive for the size. I'm like, zombie apocalypse, I could pull that out and wire some stuff up, charge stuff up. What is that? The generation gap?
I will watch that, Inertia. I just put it in my YouTube playlist. There we go.
It's an advert for lambs. What type of lamb? Like roast or stew? Lamb chops? All right, it looks like the world did not implode while we're doing a show. That's always a net positive.
Yeah.
And cool. What do we got going on the rest of the week, everybody? Anybody got any big parties planned? Anything fun you're getting into? Any games you're looking forward to playing? Any software you're thinking about running? Any content you're planning on creating? Oh, take that as a no. All right. How I envy these.
Here's Justin typing. And Steve husband. Oh, hi Steve's very own. Hope you're staying warm. Yeah, you're in the Midwest. Yeah. I just heard that I guess the lowest temperature was recorded in this storm was at the Great Lakes area, like -30. Is that right? I kept hearing one of the network stations saying it was -30 in Michigan. Whatever. I'm like, oh boy, must be the Great Lakes.
Steve, we've been over this on multiple occasions. You don't need to paint drawers. You can dye your drawers. Just buy some new drawers, man. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Justin.
-20. See, that was close. Oh my God. Oh.
Justin's got some new RAM coming in. All right.
Nice.
And Inertia's got an IoT build.
Ooh.
Right. Look at that. Everybody's got nice little projects. That's what I'm talking about. Stuff to keep you busy, get your brain working.
Keep you busy and out of the cold. Yeah.
Get to working, get to thinking, get to doing stuff.
Even here in SoCal, we've been having colder than average weather, but it's still 60 outside. But we're going to have a big thunderstorm this weekend. So
okay,
we have projects that will keep us inside.
You copyright match. Oh, come on, YouTube. YouTube is... Okay, people. I just happened to be logged into YouTube here. I want to show you, before we go, this is stuff that YouTube says I own. Okay.
Laura Croft. Oh,
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
I got the rights to that. All the Sonic stuff. Oh, is there a way to sort by date? Now, these are legit, because these are our live and uncut shows.
Yeah.
And so it's actually being smart, saying, hey, this is content that is on another channel. I'm like, yeah, it's my channel, derp. But then we immediately get to that's Sonic All-Stars Racers. This is Tomb Raider. And the reason I'm bringing this up, man, I can torture people. Like, I can be like, I can send them messages like nasty grams, man. Like, here's a video with 236,000 views on it, man, from Star Wars Gaming. And it says, I have, how much of their video? 100% of their video, YouTube is telling me that it's mine. That I could be like, hey, I can request, look, does that pop up? I can request their video get removed. I would never do that.
Yeah.
But that's how broken this stuff is.
Yeah. Wow.
That is, I have 50 pages of that.
Wow.
50. All right. I think we're going to call it. I'm going to get to that. I got a couple of things I need to take care of, and hopefully I will. Did I get any new? Everybody go subscribe to my YouTube channel or whatever. I don't know. Go check out Interface Analytics. If you do have any questions, like I said, post those in the forums. I'd be happy to answer them. And yeah, that's going to wrap us up. I'll be back Friday.
We got Trackmania, some challenging tracks.
7:30. Get in there. If you got a chance, make sure you vote on the maps that you like, because we pick the cream of the crop, the top 10, which are the ones that we find most enjoyable throughout the week. Or if you just want to pop into our super secret private Discord server and come say hello, we'll say hello back. Be like Haplo, kick the door in, start throwing stuff on the ground and be like, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. See you next time.
Bye, all. Love you all. Hello, Fraps Killer. You just missed us. We'll be back next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific.
What's that in temperature?
I don't know.